Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 6, grade 7 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter data and graphs. And the lessons we are going to cover today are interpret tables, interpret line plots, create line plots, and create and interpret line plots with fractions. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well, right? So let's just start with the lesson. Okay, here I'm on grade 7 math. The chapter we're working on is data and graphs. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is interpret tables. So let's just start with the lesson. Okay, let's just start with the first example. So to better understand library usage patterns, a librarian figured out how many books were checked out by some patrons last year. So how many patterns are there? Basically, we are here to learn how do we read data from the tables, right? So here you are given a question, you have to find how many total patterns are there in all, right? So you need to calculate you are given the table, you have two columns in the table. One of them is book checked out and the second one is frequency, right? So basically frequency is the value, this is the patterns, you need to count them, right? You have to add this row, 17 plus 6 plus 2 plus 16 plus 14 plus 3, right? So that means there are 58 patterns in all. The correct option is 58, right? Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, a statistics lab required students to draw cards numbered between 1 and 6 and track the result. So here is a table, you have a column number drawn and frequency, right? Which number was drawn the fewest time? So you have to see the, look for the frequency, that you have to look for the table and you have to look for the frequency, that the column that has the fewest frequency is the one that is drawn for the fewest time. So here you have 0, right? And 0 is the frequency for the number drawn 2. That means 2 has the fewest times, right? 2 was the number 2 was drawn the fewest time. The correct option is 2. Got it? Okay, the next one is a researcher working for a cereal company surveyed people about their cereal consumption habits. So you are given with a table that tells you about the eating cereals of different peoples, right? How many people ate cereal fewer than two times, right? So here you have the column that how many times they've eaten the cereal, and here is the frequency, right? So the zero times is eaten by the five people, one times in a week is eaten by the three people. You have to see how many people ate cereal fewer than two times. So fewer than two, you have two numbers, one and zero. You need to add their frequency. Five plus three makes eight. That means eight people ate cereal fewer than two times. The correct option is eight, right? The correct option is eight. The next one is the Middletown Tourism Office researched how often people played miniature golf last summer. How many people played mini golf exactly twice last summer? So, which is the correct option? How many people played mini golf exactly twice last summer, right? So, exactly that means how many people played golf two times last summer. So here is the number of times played two, and you have to see the frequency. The frequency is eight, right? That means two of the people played eight times mini golf last year, right? The correct option is eight. Okay, the next one is employees at Trevor's Movies track the number of movies that customers rented last month. So, how many customers rented a movie more than two times? So, which is the correct option? How many customers rented a movie more than two times? So, more than two, you have three and four, right? You need to add their frequency. So, their frequency is 17. 16 plus 1, 17. The correct option is 17. The next one is an office manager counts the number of letters sent by each of her company's employees each week. How many employees are there in all? So, which is the correct option? You need to see how many total employees are there in all. So, that means you need to add all the frequency values, right? So, let's just add that is 19 plus 16 plus 18 plus 12 plus 4 plus 17. 19, 16, 18, 12, 4 and 17. The sum is 86. That means the total employees in the company are 86, right? The correct option is 86. The next one is, as part of a statistic lesson, Miss Russell asked her student how many jackets they own. How many students own fewer than 5 jackets? So, which is the correct option? You need to add all of them, all the frequencies that have number of jackets fewer than 5, right? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is oh, okay. Let's just start with the next lesson. The next lesson is, yes, that is interpret lines. Just start with the next lesson, right? So let's just start with the first example. While compiling photos for an album, Dakota noted the number of photographs taken by each of her friends and family, right? So here you are given a line plot that tells you the photographs taken by his each family member. How many people took fewer than 3 photographs, right? So you have to select the one the whose frequency is less than 3, right? So here is 3. Less than 3 have 0, 1 and 2. So you need to count all the x in the columns of 0, 1 and 2, right? So they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means 8 people took fewer than 3 photographs, right? The correct option is 8. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay, the members of Science Club shared how many times they had been to the zoo last year. So, how many members are there in all? So, you need to count all the x, right? Okay, let's just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. The correct option is 32. That means there are total 32 members. The correct option is 32, right? Because 32 of the members have visited the zoo. The Washington Tourism Office researched how often people played miniature golf last summer, right? How many people played mini golf club more than one time? More than one means you need to count the x that are in the columns 2 and 3, right? Because more than one means the number that are greater than 1. So the greater than 1 are 2 and 3. So you have to add, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the correct option is 7. The correct option is 7. While compiling photos for an album, Dakota noted the number of photographs taken by each of her family and friends. How many people took fewer than 3 photographs? So, which is the correct option? Fewer than 3 means 0, 1, and 2, right? So, you need to count all the x that are in front of 0, 1 in the column 0, 1, and 2, right? So, the correct option is just count all the x that are in column 0, 1, and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means 8 people took fewer than 3 photographs. The correct option is 8. Got it? The Summerfield Middle School fundraising committee found out how many sweatshirts students already had in order to decide whether to sell sweatshirts for a fundraiser. How many students in the class have exactly one sweatshirt? So you need to count the one. You need to count the students who have exactly one sweatshirt, right? So here is the number of sweatshirts. Here is the one number of sweatshirts, one. Count all the x, right? So the correct option is 8. That means 8 of the students have exactly one sweatshirt. The correct option is 8. Anna's Craft is interested in offering a scarf knitting class. So the store considers how many scarves people already own. So the question is how many people have at least one scarf. So which is the correct option? At least means the minimum value could be 1. The greater The minimum value would be 1, right? And the greater value would be any. So you need to count all the values that are greater than 1. You need to count all the x that are in front of the number of scarves that are greater than 1, right? So let's just count. Greater than 1 means 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? So just count all the x that are in the columns of 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think they are 42. I cannot count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. At least one, you need to count the one also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think. 1, 2, 9, 16, and 8, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 36. The correct option is 36, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next one is create line plots, right? So now we're going to learn how do we create the line plots. Let's just start with the first example. That is Mrs. Sullivan. The biology teacher asked her students how many times they went to the science museum last year, right? So here is the table of values that tells you about the number of trips of the students to the museum last year, right? So click to select X to clear a column. Okay, you have to make the line plot actually, right? How do we make a line plot? You have to match this table of values to the column, right? You have zero number of trips. Here is zero. On the number line, you have the number of trips. So zero must have four cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then you have the number of trips 1. Here is the number of trips 1. You need to count all the x must be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7. Then in front of 2 you must have 8 cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this is 9. So you need to remove this line and you need to add 8 cross here, right? So you can see here. Here it is, right? Let's just start with the correct. Basically, you have to read the table, and you need to plot the number of line and number of. You need to plot the line plot. Okay, the first example is a parent volunteer counted the number of boxes sold by each student participating in the cookie fundraiser. Right? Use the data in the tally chart to complete the plot below. So you have to read the values from the table. So whenever you are given a table like this, that these are known as the tally marks. So how do you read a tally mark? The tally mark is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one on a complete sign like this you can read as 5, right? So they are 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you have frequency 4, here 1. This one you can read as 5 and 4, 9. This is 3 and this is 5 plus 1, 6, right? Now you need to make a line plot that have the table have these values, right? 4, 1, 9, 3, and 6. Okay, just look at the options. 1, 9, 3, and 6 is the correct option, right? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option. You have to match the cross in the table, in the graph, and the values in the table. Got it? So option number 1 is the correct option. Karen, a fitness counselor, counted the number of pull ups completed by each boot camp participant. Use the data in the tally chart to complete the line plot below. Right? So let's just read the values. Here you have for the 0, you have 1, 2, 3. This you can read as 5. This one you can read as 5. Then you have 6, 7, 8, 9. So here you have 9. This one 5 and 6, 7, 8. So this is 8. So the you must have the values 0, 1, 2, 3, and the cross are 3, 5, 9, and 8. Let's just see which is the correct option. 3, 5, 9, and 8. Which is the correct option? First one or the second one? The second one is the correct option, right? Because here you can see the cross 3, 5, 9, and 8. While working as a summer camp counselor, Kenneth monitored how many candy necklaces each child made. Use the data in the table to complete the line plot below. Okay, so you are given the table, right? You have the values given. The 0 necklaces can be made by 8 children. The 1 necklace can be made by 2 children. So you need to complete the graph 8, 2, 4, 1, 5, right? So you have to match these cross 8, 2, 4, 1, and 5. So let's see which is the correct option. Which is the correct option, 1 or 2? The correct option is option number 1, right? Option number 1 is the correct option because they have the same number of cross 8, 2, 4, 1, and 5. That is the correction. Okay, the next one is Professor Carlson compiled the scores from the last quiz. Use the data in the table to complete the line plot below. So let's just see the values they are 10, 4, 1, 7, 3, 5. 10, 4. They both exactly look the same, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 4, 1, 7, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They both exact. No, option number 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is create and interpret line plots with fractions. Right now, we're going to see how do we interpret them if they are with the fractions. So let's just start with the use the corrected line plot to answer the question. What fraction of the candles took more than 2 but less than 4 hours. So which is the correct option? What fraction of the candles, right? You need to answer in the fraction also. So you can see between 2, more than 2, and less than 4. You have only two values, right? But you need to answer in the fraction. So the total one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 2 out of 6. Or you can divide them by the common factor. So that is 1 out of 3. That means 1 out of 3 candles took more than 2 but less than 4 hours to burn. The correct option is 1 out of 3. 1 over 3 is the correct option. Use the corrected line plot to find the question below. How much perfumes was there in all? You need to calculate all the perfumes, right? Okay, so how do we calculate the total perfumes? You need to multiply the ounces and by their frequency, right? So for the first one, you have to do 2 times 1, that is 2. Then you have 3 and 2. So you have to do 3 times 2, that is 6. Then you have 3 whole 1 over 2 and 1. So 3 whole 1 over 2 times 1, that is 3 whole 1 over 2. Then here you have 4 and here you have 3. So you have to do 4 times 3, that is 12. Then you have 4 whole 1 over 4 times 1, that is 4 whole 1 over 4. Then you have 4 whole 3 over 4 times 1, that is 4 whole 3 over 4. Now you have to add them, right? Just add the whole numbers 12 and 6, 18, 19, 20. Now add the fractional part, that is 3 whole 1 by 2. You can add them. 4 and 4, 8. You can add these two values. 4 and 4 makes 8, and 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 over 4. So that means 9 it is, right? And 9, that is 32 whole. 20 here, when you add these two, they makes 9, and 3 whole 1 over 2. So you can simply add 3 plus 9 is 29, 30, 31, 32. That is 32 whole over 2. The correct option is 32 whole So the correct option 10 whole 1 over 2 is the correct option. Oh, that is 11 whole 1 over 2. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 7 math. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 7 math. The lesson we are working on is data and graphs, and the lessons we have covered today are interpret tables, interpret line plots, create line plots, and create and interpret line plots with fractions, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. So if you have any questions related to the lesson we have just finished, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.